You know how when somebody's trying to tell you how to make money, they say, you get one opportunity, maybe two, for the big break. Maybe three if you're lucky. Definitely not more than three. That's kind of how it is with spiritual stuff. It's exactly the same thing as a stock market. It's not different. There are peaks and troughs. There are high points and low points. And you just have to recognize the high points for what they are. And you have to take advantage. Now, I see this a lot when I'm in here. People see the Reiki thing, and I've given out almost all the cards I have. I have 2 cards left for the Reiki, for Eden. And as far as I know, none of them have actually called her or gone to her, or if they have, they didn't actually mention me to make the connection. But as far as I know, none of them have actually grabbed a card and then went. Now, I'm not trying to make an example out of these people or anything, or say that they are, lazy, or that they can't follow through with a commitment, because it's not really a commitment, but it is a commitment at the same time. And my point is that it's not that you won't get another chance, it's just that there are opportune times to break off from a rut or a path or a negative thing that you've been stuck in for a really long time. There are opportune times, and then there are times where it's exceedingly difficult to change anything, and you just have to stick it out for another however long it is. I don't know how long. It could be another 15 minutes, it could be another 10 years, it could be another 50 lifetimes. I don't know. I just know that there are opportune times and there are inopportune times. But you only get so many opportune times to do something. I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it. I'm just saying introduce a change. Because it's hard for us to gauge what we're actually changing. And you won't know what you're changing, what is the changer, or the one that's attempting to change something, and what is the change. You won't know that until you've tried it a few times, until you've toggled around pieces of your life and you've established where are you as well in the mix. It's not an easy thing. This spirituality stuff isn't easy. There are parts of it that are smoother than others, but it's a wild ride, pretty much, for the most part. We threaten all kinds of things to ourselves and to other people. We say, we're going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try this new thing, I'm going to cut out that bad habit. We threaten all kinds of things, and every once in a while, not often, every once in a while we actually follow through with one of the threats and we change something, but it doesn't last. It lasts for a day or two, and the hardest thing to do is to keep concentration on something, on anything. It's the hardest thing for us to do. We're like little kids with ADHD. That's another reason why having a formal meditation practice, not just I try to remain present all the time, although that's good. Have a formal meditation practice. Set aside, keep track on a piece of paper, and develop discipline, because that's what it is. It's discipline. It's nothing else. It's just discipline. What you were trying to contain, the energy of a being, of a human, of a self, of a soul. You know, when you say self-control, a lot of us take that lightly. We take that idea lightly. You cannot take that lightly. What exactly are you trying to contain here? Have you ever thought about that? You know, if you drop the ego pretense, if you drop the labels, the hats, you know, all this stuff, right? You know, we're all spiritual big boys and girls here, right? Well, just drop those for a second and then look into what exactly is it that you're attempting to contain or control after a fashion when you're developing discipline. What is it? What is it that you're trying to discipline? We get frustrated with ourselves because we lack discipline. We get frustrated with our situations because we lack discipline. We say something, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna change my life. And it's gonna last for this exact amount of time. And then you fail. You don't do it, right? It doesn't take discipline to start something. It doesn't take discipline to start something, then fail something. It takes discipline to start something, fail it, recognize that you failed, and stay on track. Because what we like to do after we start something and we fail is we like to put the whole thing out of the mind. And not even that much work. That's too much work. We just let the whole thing slip because, you know, time heals all wounds, as they say, and it will heal that wound of defeat that you've suffered. So just don't pay any attention to it. What are you talking about? What thing? What thing that I started? I didn't start anything. Who knows? Who knows about that? Not me. If you undertake it as something that is, number one, incredibly difficult, not easy at all, not easy in any way, shape, or form. You have lots of respect for what it is that you're trying to do, which is you're trying to alter yourself as a being and how you act, what you do day to day, how your mind behaves day to day. That's what you're trying to do. if you respect that, and you respect the failings which will inevitably come, then what you were really doing at that point is you're being self-honest. You're not hiding from yourself anymore. And that's really all that spiritual practice is self-honesty. It's not anything else. You're always in the process of discovering and finding out who and what you are, how you are, where you are, why you are, and why all the surrounding circumstances, structure, realm, world, earth, timeline, etc., all those things play in as well. But you find these things, you discover these things through discipline. And it's not just pain. It's simply the ability to stay focused on something till you master that particular thing, till you master that particular time frame that you set yourself to master. Decide that it's a good time to change something in your life, make it reasonable. Make it something that you actually can do. That way, if you fail, then you can say, look, I was just weak. I was weak. You won't be able to say, oh, that was impossible. I couldn't have done it anyway. If you're the one setting up the thing you're trying to change, you're the one that's responsible for making it doable. Don't try to change everything at once. Let routines do what they do. Start small and be forgiving with yourself. And just be honest. You gotta be honest. If you're into the game of self-deception, that game will play on it forever. That game never stops. Because the whole world's already playing that game anyway. You already have practice at self-deception. We're playing realm-wide deception. We've been playing that since day one. As spiritual seekers, or simply people who want to know actually what's going on, if that's such of a sort of a thing is even possible to know, then you're moving outside of the normal self-deceptions, societal-wide deceptions that we delude ourselves with on a daily basis. You're just simply acknowledging that that's the way it is for the most part, and that we would want to move past that, and we would like to know how. And then you just step into the role of being brutally self-honest all the time, and forgiving on yourself and forgiving on other people's fuck-ups, and your own fuck-ups as well. Just realize that it's not easy. But to bring this back to the tone that I started this off with, there are good times to start things and there are bad times to start things. And as far as realm energy goes, in a very general fashion, I would say right now is a good time to start something, to step into self-discipline, self-awareness. This guy just danced. He was so excited that I told him to go instead of just being selfish and claiming the lane for myself, that he did a dance across the pedestrian crosswalk with his girlfriend. The energy out there is good. Not for everybody, but if you're feeling it, and you'd like to change something, then do it. Be honest. Be prepared for difficulty. It's not easy.